The new Lloydminster Nissan is moving. We'll be temporarily relocating to the Big Blue Building on Highway 16 West, formerly known as Border City RV. And before we have to tediously move every single vehicle on the lot, we'd rather sell it. You can save today on our incredible Nissan lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Move a new or pre-owned vehicle to your driveway with deep discounts. The moving out sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. The new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome to a special edition of Live with Kurt Price, where we're going to be talking today about the downtown core. What is happening downtown with the construction? And we've also seen some items recently on social media about security. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment as well. I want to remind you that the new Lloydminster Nissan, we're getting ready to move. The new Lloydminster Nissan will be moving to what is formerly known as Border City RV. It's a Big Blue building on Highway 16 West. And it's going to be an indoor sale all the time, but we want to move out our vehicles now before we have to move them all the way out of town to Border City RV. So you can save some money right now with the new Lloydminster Nissan moving sale, and right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, do not pay for 6 months OAC. Well, let me introduce you to our guest today. We have from Cliff Rose for Clothes, a gentleman that I'm sure you will recognize. Dave Schneider is here. He's been a guest on the program before. Don has as well. Don Hames from Don Interiors in downtown Lloydminster has been a guest on our show, and I fed this guy at a meal in the field. He wasn't technically on the show, but we've had his name on the show. Marcel Zeschuk is here, and he is with Harvest Moon Studios in downtown Lloydminster. So 3 business owners have given up their time to join us today, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you're seeing downtown and what is happening downtown. First, I want to let you know about BioClean Disaster Services. If you are faced with cleanup of wind, fire, or flood, and you're looking for help with mold or asbestos contamination or drug cleanup, you can call BioClean Disaster Services. And BioClean Disaster Services is local. You see them on the benches outside, you see them on the indoor pool, and I'm sure that you've seen them doing work in the community with, for one, the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Center. That's what makes them local, and what makes them very successful is that they are committed to you and your family. Yes, they're committed to you and your property and your belongings, but they know it's you and your family that comes first. They'll keep you up to date along the way as they get your family back to where you were before the disaster. And I should say your home or your business. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. Well, we were hoping that the downtown Street 50th Street would be opened up before we began this interview. So full disclosure, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I invited these 3 guests down to talk about what's been going on in the downtown, hoping that we would know whether or not the street would be open at the very least tomorrow. At this point, we don't really know if that street is going to be open tomorrow. We're going to focus on that in just a moment, but I wanted to ask Marcel, because here's a gentleman who, they have a fairly new business downtown. It hasn't even been open for a year downtown. They're at the old, it used to be Trophy Gallery location, and you've bought the building downtown. Marcel, you guys could have gone wherever you wanted to go. Why did you guys choose to open up a studio downtown?
My wife and I have been in Lloydminster all our lives, and we've always loved the downtown area. It's very nostalgic, and we've seen those businesses grow over the years, and we wanted to be part of that. We want to be part of the downtown area.
And Dawn, how many years has Dawn's Interiors been open downtown?
Okay, since 2006, so let somebody else do the math.
Okay, so about 2006, so about 18 years.
I guess, yeah, in that
Somewhere in
location downtown, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're 35 years old, but I guess 18 in that location.
And Dave, Cliff Rose for Clothes is historic downtown
We've
business.
been there a long time, probably 37 years in the same location. So, you know, we've been there probably about the longest downtown, I would think now. So.
Yeah. How do you like it? Do you like?
Oh, I love the downtown. I mean, yes, there's inconvenience like any place. You know, we complain about parking, but most of the time the parking, if there is no problem, is because we got all our staff parking on the street. You know, it's just been like I say, our business, probably Dawn's, same with the other, it's a destination spot. So a lot of people come to your business because they have something in mind, whether they're going to buy it that day or buy it a week from now. They have something in mind when they walk in your door.
And Dawn, like for you, do you still like being downtown?
I love being downtown. Yeah, there's just so many businesses that are entrepreneurial and independent and just doing unique things. It's the best place for my business. I would like to see more businesses like that. I'd like to see some like cafes that had, you know, little outdoor, you know, tables and some other boutiques and shops and things coming downtown, because that's the area that they should be in.
So prior to doing this interview, I had a lot of people reach out to me and they said, we need you to talk about the downtown. We need more people going downtown and supporting downtown businesses, and especially after what the downtown has gone through this summer. So we were hoping that the downtown, the 50th Street, where all the construction was, would be fully open today. That's not the case. It's not fully open. We expect it will be open tomorrow. But when you hear that, when you guys hear that, and this isn't people who have businesses downtown. These are people who maybe used to work downtown, used to own businesses downtown, and they're contacting me and saying, something's got to be done for the downtown. What goes through your guys' mind when somebody is reaching out to say, hey, we got to support your businesses? And they're saying, you got to talk to these people. We need more awareness of these businesses and what is going on downtown. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
I think you're proud, for one thing, that people have concern about they all realize that we're all small businesses, and we not just support our own family, but we support the community as well. Yeah. You know, I feel bad with the street being down, especially on the 50th, like where you guys were, and the music shop across the street, because you guys went wild with no sidewalks. So yes. You guys had it really tough. You know, like us or Dawn, we still had our street where you could park, or us, we have our parking lot, but some of the ones on 50th really got slammed because they had nowhere. Like the music guy had to go through his back alley and try to get there. You know, I feel really bad for that kind of business. You know, like there was nowhere, and I realized the city needed to do this because our infrastructure is so old. Yes. But there was no solution for them. You know, so it's been tough for sure.
You're on that street.
Yes, it's been very tough. We purchased the building just a month before the construction started, and we purchased the building with the intention of having that street traffic, having visibility, and it's been very difficult because we haven't seen the people walking past, driving past. It cut down a lot on people just coming in and getting things, seeing our work and getting things done.
Dawn, what do you think when you think people are reaching out and they're concerned about your business?
Yeah,
they're concerned about...
It's really heartwarming to see like that kind of support from the community, and I've seen some Facebook posts, and I've had customers come in and say, man, you know, this construction, I feel so bad for all the downtown businesses. And so people recognize the connection between that type of construction and the economic cost it has to businesses for 6 months of the year. And so so that's good that people realize that. And I think there's a lot of people that really hope the best for the downtown. They want an amazing downtown, and hopefully those will be people that will come on board and help us build an amazing downtown. And it does take a community of people to do it, you know, to get the right businesses in place, to have events, to, you know, do things so that the streets are safe and have proper lighting. And it takes a lot of people in a lot of different industries to make it happen, but it can happen. Our downtown can even be cooler than places like Broadway or White Avenue in Edmonton, because we're smaller and we're more connected. And having those connections is really healthy. When we make connection, when we come downtown, that's really healthy for our whole community.
We often hear people say, and not only in our community, but in other communities, the downtown is the heart of
Yes.
any community. What does that mean? Like, it's one thing to say it, but what does it truly, like what does it mean? Like, how important is the downtown?
The downtown is where the small businesses seem to start out, where, as Don said, it's the innovation and the people in the community supporting or starting out the businesses, and we need the support of all the rest of the community. So that's to me what the heart of the community means. It's all of the small people that are the community.
Do you guys want to add to that?
I just would say, like, the mom and pop shops, they're the little treasures. And not only are they the treasures, but they're the culture of our community. And so any downtown represents the culture of our city and our community and our region. And it is a collection of the entrepreneurial spirit, the pioneering spirit that built our whole city, region, province, you name it, right? And so that's the spirit of the people that have the businesses downtown. And yeah, and that's I think why it's the heart of the city, and it always has been. And it's been under attack with urban sprawl. For example, even in Lloydminster was hit with urban sprawl, and I remember how the downtown was impacted when the mall came in, and then we have the power centers and all those types of things. So, but we also have the potential, if we can work together, we can build the most amazing downtown that you can imagine.
For you, Dave?
I think part of it is any of our business three sitting here, it's all the customer service we give. Like, I mean, there's not one of us that don't do customer service as the main part of our business. You know, in some of the box stores, you don't get that. So, I mean, there's a reason we all have repeat customers and stuff coming back, because they like that personal service.
When people are reaching out and saying the downtown needs help, why do you think that is?
I think, you know, people, if they see, you know, we're building out, we're going every direction but downtown. So I think this year, yes, since May till now, it's been a huge inconvenience for everyone, but you can see they're starting to put a little more new infrastructure in for the downtown. So I think instead of us all complaining that the roads look tighter and this and that, we gotta let them finish next year and just see how it's gonna play out and what it looks like. But you know, social media is easy to go jump on and slam everything, because you're right behind your keypad, you can put whatever you want. So I think we just gotta let it play out and see how it goes.
You feel that way too, Don? That's why, like, the people are like, you gotta help.
Well, it's old. Like, it's the beginning point. And we've got the beautiful buildings to prove it, and all those bricks, which interestingly, a lot of those bricks were actually made just north of the city, so they're local clay. And so there's a lot of historic stuff, but it's old, and there hasn't been a lot of investment, right? And so with the city investing in that street, I mean, that's super good, but we also need investment in terms of economic development, getting like the right businesses, because we need a curated collection of boutiques and shops and services in the downtown. And so that's not something that I or Dave or you even could go and find all these businesses. We don't have the resources, the time, the expertise, but it's something that needs to happen for true revitalization to happen downtown. We also need parking. We need our parking protected, because every small business needs a parking spot for their customers. Most of our clients and customers and patrons aren't within walking distance to my shop or Dave's shop, and they drive in from from the region and from quite far in the city too, right? And so we need parking. And if we can't have parking for customers, then we don't have customers, and then we don't have income, and we're not viable. So we need to increase the parking, and we need to increase the draw, which we can do by the right mix of businesses, I believe.
Have you been getting any feedback on that too? Like from people reaching out and saying, I understand you need this?
Well, we've seen lots of people on social media saying that the people that have come in have agreed with that, but it's been difficult to get people to come in. And a part of the reason that the downtown needs help as well is that the downtown are small businesses that stay in the community. The money stays in the community rather than going to those big box stores and to the head corporation somewhere out of the community. The businesses spend the money within the community. They support by donating and supporting the local organizations. So it's important to support that downtown because of that as well.
So you've all seen posts on social media of people saying, why did they do that? Why did they do, like, 6 months? Why are they taking so long? When you guys look at what will happen when this is complete, and Dave, you mentioned that we got to see how it plays out. I mean, we had Ben Harrison on the show about a week ago, and he talked about improved lighting downtown. If we have improved lighting, it's going to bring more people downtown. What else can be done to bring people back downtown?
I don't know. I think, we got a couple empty buildings right on Main Street, which doesn't help. So if we find a way to fill something like that, it's nice. Again, like I said, our downtown to me, a lot of businesses are a destination. Like, they go there because I'm looking for a shirt. I want to talk to you about a wedding. I want to do some blinds. Like, they usually come with something in mind. Honestly, I've been downtown for over 40 years. I don't know if we ever were walk around downtown. Like, we lost a couple of the, like Synergy, for instance. They had 100 plus people working there when they were downtown, and they all got a lunch hour. Well, those people aren't walking around, coming to your shop or going to Don's. Well, they got half an hour. Those are the people we're missing. So the walking around traffic is definitely slower.
How do we bring them back, Dawn?
How do we bring them back? That's a great question. I think that we do need to have a curated collection of businesses. I think like downtown events. One of the things that's really cool about the downtown is that businesses do work together and they do help one another. And I've seen that over and over again. And that's really special because entrepreneurial businesses get it, right? They get the importance of working together. They get the importance of increasing traffic. And going back to your question is like, why does the downtown need help? Well, they need help, like even from realtors to get businesses into the right locations downtown, right? Because when we have those businesses that are the right businesses, the right fit, that will create a draw, and then there's a synergy effect that it benefits everyone. And so we all benefit, and we create this amazing downtown where things are happening. There's lots of people. It feels safer because there's more foot traffic, and it is more prosperous for all of the businesses.
Marcel, you opened up a month ahead of construction. Do you even really know what it's like to be downtown yet?
A little bit, because we moved from just down the street. We were for a year in the building that was on the corner of 49th and 49th. So we enjoyed being there, but we don't really know what it feels like to be in our new location without construction there.
There's been some downtown events, like Pumpkin Fest was very successful, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah. And we were asked to be part of that, but because the street was closed, we couldn't really do anything with it. We were looking forward to being part of those downtown events.
Right. You mentioned coming together and collaborating. We used to have streetscapes. Does that
Yes.
just not exist anymore?
That does not exist anymore, and I think that it needs to exist again, because there's different problems that have come up since they've been gone that streetscapes would have dealt with, and there's just no one to spearhead it or have those things happen. So, for example, we would have cleanup breakfast every year in the spring. Business people would all get together and have breakfast, and the streetscapes would hand out garbage bags and gloves or whatever, and we would go and we would clean up our property and others, right? And that would get done every year, and it doesn't get done anymore. And then of course, you don't have those connections, like meeting other business people and that sort of benefit that you would get from having connections. I guess other things that they did is, like they do organize events and things, and now that has fallen away, and there is no one to organize downtown events or promotions or anything like that anymore. And when there was problems of things happening downtown, we had a group of board members that were from all different specialties, I guess I would say, different backgrounds, so that there was a lot of experience coming at the table to solve problems, and we've lost that. And they met every month. The Business Improvement District, also known as Streetscapes, and they could react to a problem. It might take a couple of months to solve a problem, but they could react and respond. And there also was a liaison, usually a city councillor from the city, and so we were able to be quite effective. And I know that downtowns that do have bids, Business Improvement Districts, their downtown is happening and it's revitalized, and it's good, right? And we don't have that anymore.
Dave, you miss it? You miss streetscapes? You wish
I
it
think part of it was, I'm not gonna lie to you, we had lots of times, because I was on it for 20 years, we'd have 200 businesses downtown and residential, and we'd have a annual meeting. We'd struggle sometimes to get a quorum. So, I mean, there was good and bad with it. Like some people, they invest so much time in the day and the week in their business. When they close at 5 or 6, they got their family to go. They don't want to go to an event somewhere at night, So I think part of it is everyone's lives are busier now than they were 20 years ago. But I think a social thing, like Marcel's business, we're around the corner. I didn't even know what they do. But we used to have a streetscape that the worker would go to, or the employee would go and visit, and then like your business would be new, come say, and then we'd have a letter saying, hey, this guy's here if you need, Like sometimes we just don't leave our own door. So.
Would you like to see something like you mentioned, a bid?
Yeah.
Would you like to see something
I think
like
something
that?
like that, if it was, we get some businesses at that time, I don't know how it works now, but we all got taxed to have streetscape too. So some said, well, we never do anything with streetscape, so I don't want to pay taxes for something I don't use. So there's good and bad with it,
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah,
I thought
it
it was
was-
just a portion of your taxes.
No, it was a separate.
It was separate?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to pay extra for it? Yeah. I don't know how many businesses would be willing to pay extra.
Like you look at, when a friend of mine, when WLS was downtown, well, they didn't, they're an accounting firm. They didn't really have nothing to, like, they're not going to come out and do, what are they going to advertise, right? So it was good for the retail part, probably more than anything else, but.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about security and what you can do to help out the downtown.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
At Dave Schneider and Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to support the communities we live in. When you support Dave Schneider and Associates Cooperators, you are supporting local nonprofits and initiatives. Since 2020, we have donated $60,000 to local nonprofits, youth sponsorships, and various special projects. When was the last time your insurance company did that?
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
Welcome back. We're at the Lloydminster exhibition today, and we have Dave Schneider from Cliff Rose for Clothes joining us. Don Hames joins us from Dawn Interiors, and from Harvest Moon Studios, we have Marcel Zeschuk joining us. I want to give a shout out to another one of our big supporters, which is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster to make filling your big blue jugs a whole lot quicker. And if you want great tasting water to come right from your tap, you can call Superior Water and ask about their under the sink reverse osmosis systems at 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and I believe it is Superior Water. Superior Water open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 5. Plus, of course, don't forget they have a coin-operated location besides 7-Eleven on Highway 17 South. We want to get back into what you can do to help out the downtown, but I know there's been some questions raised on social media in particular about security. There was a meeting held not too long ago about security, and that kind of raised people's eyebrows, and they thought, what's happening downtown? So I reached out to Dave about that meeting, and it was for businesses downtown. Maybe Dave, just update us on what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I sent my daughter to that meeting, and she came back, and it was kind of 50-50, kind of sounding. Some people were concerned, some say there's not an issue. Like, honestly, I've been working downtown for over 40 years, and I've never walked out of my door when I worked at Co-op or when I worked at Cliff Rose, not feeling safe walking out the door. So do we get homeless people? Absolutely. But we try to treat them with respect. No one grows up and going to school and saying, I want to live in the streets of Lloydminster. It's not life gives you some curves sometimes that you just can't get back on. So, we try to treat them like we want to be treated. And, they're usually pretty good that way. So,
as far as you had mentioned, Dave, the way that you treat them, you're involved with the downtown charity that helps out these
absolutely,
people as well.
I'm involved with the Olive Tree, and that's most of our clients are people that are really struggling, or street people. And, they come in there for 3 days a week to feel safe, for one thing, for an hour and a half that they're there. but they get treated like regular people there too. So, you know, we try to do the best we can to make them feel comfortable and wanted. But it's, you know, it's a problem for sure, but it's not just a problem to Lloydminster, it's every community.
That does seem to be. When I was on the phone with you, Don, I mentioned, like, you go downtown Edmonton, there's the exact same problem. Or even if you want to, would you call it a problem, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just like, I went to Saskatoon and looked at their soup kitchen, and like I always tell people, 90% of the ones that come to the Olive Tree usually got somewhere to go, like somewhere to live or somewhere to sleep, where Saskatoon's is 90% don't have, they live on the street. So, I mean, we do have, I don't know if it's as much homeless, but we do have, you know, we have drug problems for sure. I got a lady sitting by my store a month ago. I just went out and sat by her and said, what's going on? And she's sitting by my door and she's got 2 crack pipes out, you know, saying she wants to get a job and she wants to do this. And I'm just like, you know, and when one that were behind our store, and I brought them some water one day, and they were going, said, you guys want water? And I go, man, I thought you were here to kick me out. I'm like, no, just trying to give you water. Like, they have nowhere to go neither. So I think that's the worst thing, is they don't have somewhere to go or somewhere to do all day long. So it gets to be long days. You know what they say with idle hands, right? You know?
Yeah. How do you look at it, Don?
Well, there's definitely, like you say, it's not just in Lloydminster, it's every city, and we probably don't have it as bad as most cities. But when I think about this situation, like during the whole spring, summer, and fall, people that are drinking, like that are alcoholics or they're drugging, they're not allowed to stay in the men's shelter or in any shelter. So they're out on the street. They're trying to find a piece of cardboard. I've seen them take cardboard out of dumpsters to try to, you know, have something to cover up with during the night. And I think that as a society, as a community, we can do better. And I don't feel that having people living, homeless people living downtown is the best that we can do for them. I think that there needs to be better programs, like things that can genuinely help them. And because I don't feel that downtown is the home, or should be in any city, for the homeless. We shouldn't have to, you know, if I was a drug addict or an alcoholic, I wouldn't want to have to live on the street in a city. I would want something that was available to me that I could get better and then be put back out into society and make a positive contribution. And so I think we need to like revisit the whole thing. It can't be just like giving them a meal and then go on for your day. Like, there has to be more. Not that giving them a meal isn't good, because when you're hungry, it's very good. But I think that we can all do better in helping people that have fallen, like Dave said, not by their own choice sometimes. Sometimes they're victims of terrible, terrible things that have happened to them. And yeah, I would just like to see better systems to help these people, because the downtown is not and should not be their home. They deserve better.
Just to add a second, we got something with the Olive Tree starting now that we're just passing around some people, but it will help that we're not, you know, it's nothing that they're looking for housing for someone that's just got the street, but sometimes it's the worst ones, and get them into a home. So there is stuff with the city, with the Olive Tree, with the men's shelter, you know, all these people are, and they're trying to come up with a plan, but some of these guys, like she's saying, we should all help them, but some of them don't want help. You know, unless you're an addict and you ask for help, you're just wasting money taking them to somewhere until they're ready to come talk to you and say, I need help, you know.
Was this a problem before COVID? Was this a byproduct?
I think we've always had them, you know. I had people downtown. You know, I mean, you go back to 100 years, I mean, how many people know Red Iron? I mean, that's the name everyone, he walked the streets, never had a home, you know, but I think it's been I don't know, I want to say problem, but it's been in Lloydminster for a long time. We're a transient kind of town, so we always get some in and out, right? So
has COVID brought it more to light, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it just seems like the last few years it's more prevalent, not only here, but everywhere. Like, we all see pictures of Vancouver and what's happening there and stuff. So When it comes to people coming downtown, what do you want them to know about that, Dave? What do you want them to know about coming downtown and feeling safe?
I mean, honestly, I've never had a customer in that many years come in and say, whoa, did you see that outside? So I think we just got to know our surroundings. And like I said, talking to some of the ones on our street, we may have to come up with a buddy system. Like, you know what, if your wife's working by herself, she's feeling a little anxious, phone one of us. You know, we'll come over and help her make sure she's okay to get in her car. We just got to help each other. And I think it'll, you know, it's just like Don was saying, we're a little community downtown, so we have to, you know, maybe act like a family and take care of each other.
What do you think the results of, like, you're directly affected by this construction, and it's been negative now, but how excited are you to see what it's going to look like in the spring when the light posts go up, when the trees are planted?
I'm very excited to see what the street is going to look like and to have the foot traffic and the vehicle traffic past our street. It'll be fantastic to have a nice new street.
There's been some concern about parking, but I've never had a problem finding parking downtown. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've seen people say there's a problem with parking. I've never had a problem parking downtown. I guess because I don't mind walking a little bit either. Like, what's your response when you see people say, well, they're taking away parking, Dave?
I think part of the people is when they come downtown, they think they should be able to park right in front of your door. But like I tell them, go to the mall. You don't park right in front of the door in there neither. Like, you walk. So it's, honestly, in ours, we've got a couple of hairdressers in our street, but a lot of it is staff. Like, I'm at work at 7:30 in the morning. You can look outside there by 8:39 and you can see the streets getting vehicles, and they're all walking into businesses that they're working at. So,
right. For you, Don?
Well, just to, with what Dave just said about staff of other businesses parking in parking spots that are for customers, like, that was one thing that was looked after through streetscapes, because we did have a big parking problem. And what they did is they started giving out tickets. They had a bylaw officer giving tickets, and then those people that were staff or even business owners that were parking on the street, they got tickets, and that really cleaned up the problem of no parking. But I still want to say that parking is important for small businesses. We need it. And it depends what businesses are downtown. I know when we had the dance studio, basically from 3:30 to 7, you know, they would have 20 or more students, and each student came in their own vehicle, right, with their mom. And so that would be from 3:30 on. That's 20 spots taken up every hour. And so certain types of businesses require a lot of parking. And so that, you know, that's all kind of part of zoning, right? And that's something that comes from the city that we have no control over, the types of businesses that are brought in, which is, you know, going back to that curated collection. When you're looking at, you know, how many people are coming into the business and what the turnover is of that and the needs for parking.
I just want to go back to the security issue a little bit as well. In that meeting, was it determined that you needed a security downtown, or that the city should provide security? What came of that? Like, what happened from
Were you
that?
at the meeting?
Yeah, I was at the meeting as well. It wasn't really determined whether security was needed. It's kind of on an individual business basis. The security that they were discussing was private security, which would only apply within your own property. So businesses like ours that doesn't have lots of open, like, walk-in traffic like what the office buildings do, we wouldn't require the private security. We need more, like, policing by the city and the RCMP. So it depends on what the individual business needs are for something like that.
We talked about the construction. This isn't the only year. It's going to be like a 10-year project downtown. All businesses are going to kind of go through this. If you could make recommendations to the city and say, here's what would be better, this would improve, what would you say? How would you improve what happened? Take let's move forward next year and let's try to make this easier on businesses?
A few things, have some people maybe come in and speak with the businesses that are operating on that street. We really never had anybody check on us during the construction. We had a few people come in before it really started, but nobody came in to address any of our concerns during the construction. If they could have somehow the window of construction shortened a little bit, where the construction companies work later into the evenings in the summer where it's light out, rather than shutting down early and then trying to push it into fall and not getting things completed. It would really help things to not have the street closed for 6 months or more.
And Don, I know you had mentioned better signage.
Yeah, I think like for my block, it said road closed, local traffic only. And so almost all of my customers never came down. They didn't realize that they were the local traffic that could come down. So I think if the signage would have said, no through traffic, customers welcome, you know, it could have had a better outcome. And I think too, 6 months is too long for a business to not have all of their customer base. I think the other thing, like for your street and my street, we didn't have the drive-by traffic, which keeps your business top of mind. And yeah, a lot of people will just think, I'll just wait till the construction's done. I know, like, for example, when I'm have to take a detour in Edmonton or Calgary, I feel a lot of stress because I don't know the city. I don't know how to get back onto where I need to go. And I think some of my customers felt like that too. Whereas I know the whole downtown, I know how to get around everywhere, but not everybody does. So, so it did take a lot of business away from businesses that were down there. And so it definitely needs to be shortened up and maybe some better signage.
Dave, you got your own parking. Did you notice a decrease though?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's less people. My recommendation of anything is, it's not my business, I don't know, but 6 months for doing one block is a long time. You know, like, honestly, it just seemed like it never was gonna end. You know, and I honestly think that the city should do something about taxes to some of those small businesses on 50th that had no chance. You know, like for a while, I think I'll go back to my friend at the music shop. I mean, he never had no sidewalks, no street. You had no, like, I mean, there should be some kind of, you know, whether it's we'll give you more time or we'll cut some of your taxes because you didn't get what you bargained for when you moved into the building.
So I asked the mayor about that when he was on the show, and he said, well, where does it end though? Like, kind of indicating it's a slippery slope. What would the response be to that?
Tell them to go take a look at their books from May and take a look at their books now and see how much that slippery slope cost them, you know?
Yeah, it might be a slippery slope for the city, but it's also that much less income for those businesses downtown that's taking that money out of their families, out of their children's mouths.
For people who want to support you, is it just a matter of come downtown and shop? Is it that simple, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, the rest, everyone here, but our businesses are the easiest one to hit when a charity's looking for something, when a hockey team's looking. Like, I just did a jacket for the Bandits fundraiser right now. I mean, we're the people that are easy to hit, you know, so it kind of goes twofold. If, you know, we help, like you guys said, we keep all our money in the community. So it's not that it all goes into our jeans and we walk away. We support every charity that walks because we're easy, because we walk in and it's either yes or no.
What I'm hearing, Dave, is it's real easy to come down when you need something.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and I'm not saying we've got a lot of our customers have been that long. They're our friends and they support us through thick and thin. It doesn't matter, you know, but it's just sometimes, you know, if someone phones and says, can you donate? And then they ask you, where are you located? Like, that obviously tells you they hasn't been downtown at all, right? You know, so I think it's a two-way street.
What's your response when something like that? Like,
again, it's tough. You know, we we do stuff like the Bobcats and, you know, the Health Foundation or stuff that's, you know, but there's always someone selling tickets for something, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kurt, you get asked that 100 times, you want to buy a $20 ticket or a $100 ticket or, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, with less business, sometimes we can't buy that $100 ticket now,
Right.
you know, so.
Dawn, for you? What can people do? Like, is it just a matter of come shop at Dawn's
Yeah,
Interiors?
like, that's-
you want to
that's-
help the downtown?
Yeah.
Go to Harvest Moon Studios and see what they have to offer. Come to Dawn Interiors, see what they have to offer. Take a walk downtown. Bring somebody with you.
Yeah, I think all of those things, Kurt, like, yeah, bring somebody with you, like, when we do social media, like our posts, share our posts, like, you know, help us.
That's a good point. There's other...
Yeah, because we're out there, like, working to help our community as well, right? And so, yeah, like, and we all like to help each other as well, and yeah, it's hopefully, like, I think that the difficult thing is oftentimes if people feel like they can't get to my business, they can find that product at another business, and once they get hooked into that business, then have I lost my customer for good? Like, so there's not only the 6-month cost of the construction cost, but sometimes losing your customers is a longer term thing. And hopefully they remember us and we'll be top of mind and they'll come back to us.
So Marcel, you never really had a chance to build up a customer base yet.
Not in the downtown area, no. It's,
So you just need people to walk in.
we need people to come think of us when they need any portrait needs, any family photography, any printing. Just, yeah, think of us.
Printing, what do you mean? Like,
We print photographic prints for the public and for local photographers. We have a full print shop and framing shop, as well as a portrait studio.
so if I bring in my phone?
You can
Or
bring
is
in
it more
you
for-
can bring in your phone, but don't expect the quality of what you would from a professional photographer.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want people to know about downtown? I know there's been some negative stuff. I know it's out there. But we want to be as positive as possible about what can be for downtown, right? So kind of a last pitch to people to come down, what would you say?
I think come down, you'll be surprised what you might, I mean, I work downtown and there's stuff I didn't know that these guys do, and, you know, I go into Dawn's once in a while, but it's, you know, you just come down and you'll be surprised what you'll find downtown.
It's full of amazing businesses, amazing people. It truly is like full of jewels, and it is the heart of the city.
And for you, Marcel?
That's about all I can say too. Yeah, just come and support your local community, your local downtown.
And as far as the negative on social media, just stop. Would you say, is it that easy? Just stop. Just before you start posting stuff, come down and see what it's like.
Yep, that's the easiest way.
Okay.
Yeah,
A last word to anybody before we wrap up?
I think we're, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
for-
thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you for having us on.
thanks. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and I know it's been a rough summer. It's been a rough summer, but Christmas season is right around the corner. That'll help, right?
Hopefully, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that will help. Go downtown and see what they have to offer, and we're crossing our fingers that it's even open now. That
Yep.
they've opened everything up completely now. But you have a sidewalk back.
We have a sidewalk back.
Even if the road's not open, you can still walk in.
You can come walk in and see what we've got there.
Okay, and I would encourage the city to do whatever they can on their social media to help out these downtown businesses as well, just to let people know when it's open. I did ask the mayor, was there a grand opening planned for that street? With construction happening next year as well, it's tough to, I understand that's tough, but there needs to be something, and I hope maybe this is it, to let people know you guys are open for business. That's the gist of it.
Yes.
You're open for business. Is there late night shopping anytime? Like Dave, you stay
Yeah,
open.
we're
late on-
open on Thursdays later. You know, starting the middle of November, we'll be open Sundays too, so. But we got our numbers on the door. If you need us anytime, we'll meet anyone at the store anytime.
Okay.
extended hours on Thursday as well. Yeah.
We have daytime hours, but open by appointment, all kinds of hours.
Right, right. That's the photography business, I
That's the
suppose.
photography business, yeah.
Yeah, it's not always 9 to 5, is it?
No, it's definitely
Monday to Friday.
It's not a 9 to 5 daytime business.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that could speak to that, but thanks, Paul. And thank you for joining us. And once again, support the downtown. They are, and we're going to have Here Comes Santa Claus back again this year, December 2nd. Pumpkin Fest was a huge success. We went down, we took my niece down. She just absolutely loved it. We spent way too much time in the line getting for face painting when we'd rather be outside on what was a gorgeous fall day.
Yeah.
But it's what the kids wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
And everybody had an absolute blast down there. And we look forward to December 2nd for Here Comes Santa Claus. We will talk to you again tomorrow. We will be talking to the Lloydminster District Co-op about a couple of programs they have, one that supports the Lloydminster Legion and one that supports our seniors here in the community with their Share a Little Love campaign. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.